What's up, guys? So finally I've decided to open up my PC gamer. It's been on my desk for about a couple weeks now, so it's quite late, but as you can see it is August 2016 subscriber edition, so it's not too late yet, even though you might have seen them in the shops already. And by the way, this is my first time as well, so I'm just gonna quickly review together with you. As you can see, the main feature is of course Civilization 6, which I'm actually really excited about, no matter what I said in my trailer reviews. Right, so let's see the reviews. It's Overwatch, Lumo, Homefront, Revolution, Mirror's Edge, Catalyst, Final Fantasy 10 and 10, oh well, 12 HD I suppose, Remastered, Duskers, Doom, DLC reviews, Hitman Episode 3 Marrakesh, Fallout 4 Far Harbor, The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. There's some old games, Bit Trip. I never heard of those, even though I've been in gaming for a very long time. Okay, let's see hardware. The usual stuff. Founders Edition, blah blah blah. By the way, I found Founders Edition to be rather lacking in the cooling department. So just as I thought, Nvidia's hype was misleading, as usual. Sorry Nvidia, much love. And also a few for misleading me. Since I actually bought the Founders Edition and then I had to return it, that's major hassle. But thankfully to respectable dealers such as Amazon, you can return the products you're not happy with. Right, so all that stuff with articles you can see, read for yourself. A3 roundup. I was gonna do E3 roundup, but then again I had too much trouble with video cards, testing them, and as well as new computer came out to be unstable, which is Broadwell E. So when you buy Broadwell E as well, be careful. I think some of the cores are not as good, especially if the first Broadwell E computers, which is the latest Intel Extreme processor. They're not as stable as I thought they would be, so again I'm returning for extended testing. So again, that's major hassle for me. This is just my hobby and just taking a lot of time off doing like gaming stuff for my channel. Right, previews: Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Phoenix Point, Champions of Ontario, All Walls Must Fall, Motorsport Manager, FIFA 17, 7 Days Long Gone, and some stuff. Again, pretty good lineup. I'm pretty excited to see this. One thing I want to say about the magazines, it's maybe because I'm quite old now, 31, is that I still remember buying magazines to get all my gaming info when I was a kid. So this sort of brings me back in those good times before the internet took over everything. Right, PC Gaming Show. As you can see, it was on June 13th, blah blah blah, Los Angeles. I wish PC Gaming Show included more. As always, I wish for better improved. I don't really mind it being a little on a cheap side. It doesn't really matter, as long as the info and new games arrive and there's proper presentation. I don't think it was bad. As you can see, the studio here, they had the big screen that there's quite many people there. It's not bad. I mean, it's not E3 for PC gaming, but it's good enough. I think it will just improve. PC gaming is growing. I think the rates are not reported because the console companies are afraid that PC gaming is actually taking over right now. So anyone who has a couple of brain cells realizes that the technology is growing faster than what you can buy in a console. When you buy in a console, you buy right now you buy about 6-year-old hardware. That is DirectX 11 based hardware. If you're fine with just gaming, it's fine, you know. But some of us, we want to go further. We want more. We want to experience new things. And if, in order to experience new things, you need broader approach to technology. Meaning you need to, I don't know how to express itself. It's not just about VR. I think it's about how much resources you can give to a game. Each generation of new gaming is ultimately new technology. So when you say I don't care about graphics, it's not just graphics. It's the world itself. It's what you can do in the world, how you experience it, etc. Right. So I'm just gonna stop ranting, and you can see all the articles here about PC gaming and the E3. Let's jump to some screenshots. Right. So there's some articles about VR games. Some of them look quite fun. I'd really like to experience this alien world. Myself, I haven't actually bought it HTC Vive yet, even though I have hardware that pretty much is optimal for it. I just don't see that definitive title that you want to experience. There are a bunch of demos, and paying premium price for a first generation of VR just to experience a couple demos, I don't think it's smart. If I was really rich, I would have bought it a long time ago. Or if gaming was like my job or something, I don't know. Right, so Deus Ex, the new Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Really stoked for this. Please don't fuck it up. Please don't make it a console crap game. I think the console crap started with what was the first? I think that was the second Deus Ex after the original. It was Invisible War, I believe, and that was the first downgrade. Sort of when you take a PC title, PC only title, such as the original Deus Ex, and you sort of put it in a smaller console frame, homogenized for a broader audience, and what you get is a bullshit product. I'm sorry to say, but it was a bullshit product. You could still play it, you could still enjoy it, the story was alright. However, the overall package was lacking. And if you look online, the first console Deus Ex was a major letdown, and reviews will pretty much support my view. Human Revolution, the previous Deus Ex, was pretty good. However, it was still going into that console frame. It was a bit broader, a bit better, a bit more optimized for PC. However, it was not a revolutionary title as the first Deus Ex was. This looks quite good, but again, screenshots are deceiving. Even the gameplay demos are deceiving. As you know from 2013 E3, when the new console games were showcased, majority of them ended up not as revolutionary, not as good looking, not as good gameplay, etc. Right, so Titanfall 2, that's another promising title. Looks pretty much exactly like the first Titanfall, and that's not surprising since, again, this is another console-oriented title. Right, Battlefield 1. I've spent about a week playing this, and I can tell you that this is one of the most interesting games to come out this year. I mean, even if they screw up, it's still going to be one of the best games this year. I'm trying to make a video on it. I'm trying to edit all the footage and put up a proper sort of preview. If I have enough time, it will be done. Right, Champions of Ontario. What is that? It looks really good. Classic city builder, but right, so RTS elements in a city builder. Could be like Settlers meets Warcraft, I suppose. Looks really nice. It's a seasonal developer, by the way. It's Blue Byte. They're responsible for a lot of those building simulators. Okay, someone's messaging me. Sorry about that. All walls must fall. This is the first time I see this, so I'm pleasantly surprised when a magazine manages to, you know, put something that is not as easy to find among countless of news on the net. I mean, there's new games every day. Motorsport Manager. Actually looks really interesting. You can see that those SimCity-like graphics. I wonder if it's all real time or not. Really interesting. FIFA 17. A small article, not much of a media. 7 the days long gone. Right, so what is that? Stealth and post-apocalyptic world. Okay. So perhaps like an RPG. It does look like an RPG. It has that isometric Diablo look. Right, something to be discovered later, I suppose. There's very little information so far. Okay, so for all you Smite players, you get the skin if you're free enough, or fast enough. And if you actually care about this game, you can get the skin. So enjoy. Watch Dogs 2. Again, one of those 2013 letdown games. I'm gonna say it, Watch Dogs 1 was not a bad game. However, it was overhyped and people ended up disappointed. And then when you're disappointed, you sort of emotionally overreact, and you know, you get sort of backfire, sort of opposite reaction of hype. I don't know what it is. It's probably hate, because people hated it. Okay, so this is kind of like a short list of upcoming promising titles for PC. Quake Champions, not much information about it. They assured it's not a MOBA. We'll see, hopefully. Dead Rising 4. By the way, if you know, most of Xbox One games are supposed to come on Windows 10 now, so it's gonna be like a multi-platform thing. As you can see, Gear Wars 4. Hopefully this time they will actually program the game for PC rather than just porting it in 10 minutes and then hope to, you know, get the money from PC gamers. And again, Windows 10 titles, I've never bought any of them because I'm not sure if you can refund. You know, on Steam you play the game less than 2 hours, you can refund. If you launch one of those crappy Windows 10 applications, they call them apps. Why the fuck do you call them apps? It's just the same thing as a Steam. You sell games through Windows. Microsoft, stop pretending like something else. And I don't know if it's refundable. Right, so it's a pretty hefty article about Civilization. Same old screenshots, but there's a lot of explanation how stuff works, and some timeline for past games. I'm sure everyone already seen this media. There's also gameplay already. But if you're really hyped for this game, as I am, there's a lot of information on PC on the August release of PC Gamer. It's quite good. I really like when you have a screenshot and then there's explanation on top of it, rather than reading a wall of text that you might not really give a shit about. Oh, that some guy played something somewhere. Pretty much ranting like me right now. Okay, nice for them to include some spam. Thank you very much. I don't get enough of that already. Right, so a Portal 2 apparently is best riding on PC. However, it was ported to consoles, so I don't know. But it's still original PC game. However, but you know, you can't really just best riding on PC. Okay. Right, there's some older titles, I guess. Right, some articles on older titles, which is always fun to read and maybe visit the games again or play them if you never played them. Jurassic Lark. I suppose this is a mod for now quite famous PC game Ark and Xbox One game, which is not something I would play at that kind of lag on Xbox One, but then again I think people are used to sub 30 frames per second when they play consoles. Anyways, content, reviews, this is the same thing as previously seen in a second page. Right, so Overwatch, I would pretty much agree with this. I think most of the minuses is the fact that it's very much a free-to-play game, in my opinion. But you actually have to pay for it. So, Team Fortress, it's a fancy Team Fortress 2 from Blizzard, but you actually have to pay for it, and you don't pay for the unlocks. That's how they went around monetizing it. Right, says run away from Homefront. Yeah, you pretty much should run away from this game. It's a bad console port. It's just bad game. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not full. It's not supposed to be full price game. I think there are many issues with games like that. They go through many development cycles. They change developers. They go into trouble and. Okay, Mirror's Edge Catalyst 78. I tried a beta, really enjoyed it, but I did not buy it. There's too many games, I'm sorry to say, there are too many good games. So if you these days, if you want to grab attention, it's not enough to be good. Right now the competition is so strong, you have to be amazing to make everyone play it. So it's just the reality of today's gaming and economics in general. People cannot afford, either time-wise or money-wise, they cannot afford all the games. Doom 88, pretty much agree with that. I would probably even give it even less, because it kind of betrayed the PC gaming in a sense that it didn't bring a revolution. It's not a revolutionary title in any sense, and specifically it's not revolutionary in technological sense. It's pretty much still a DirectX 11 game, and there are issues with SLI, which is a big downfall in today's ID games. They have issues with SLI, which is kind of fucking ironic, since ID Software started as an innovator in PC gaming, and now it's just playing catch up with pretty much everyone else. Okay, new Hitman episode. I really want to play this game and now I can't find the time. So, and by the way, the score for this DLC is 81. It's hard to call it DLC since it's kind of a part of the game, since they promised to be episodic game, so it's not a DLC in a sense. Fallout 4 Far Harbor. Again, I haven't had time to play. Games like these require like full immersion, full time dedicated, and yeah, maybe one day I will have enough time to dedicate myself. Whoa, 94% for The Witcher, Blood and Wine. Good job. CD Projekt Red, amazing developer. Too bad they did not dedicate this as a 100% PC title. And again, the proof is that it does not live up to the 2013 presentation, which it could have easily been done if they went with PC only or PC first development and then scale back down for the consoles. They chose, or maybe the publishers chose for them in order to achieve financial targets, to sort of constrain the game in DirectX 11 ecosystem, to achieve parity with Xbox One and PlayStation 4. However, the game is still worthy of time, especially from a developer like CD Projekt, who is not going to compromise your experience in order to stuff DRM into the game or offer you bad DLC values. As you can see, this is the DLC, and it's not expensive. It's not like pretending to be a separate standalone expansion. You buy the main game and you pay a little bit and you get amazing value as a proof here to continue your adventures. I haven't played it actually, but pretty sure it's awesome. Right, so I have hardware reviews for the wheels. For those who care, again, GDX Founders Edition of 1080 variety. I think they're a bit late on this, since they should have compared it to aftermarket cards with different coolers, and the difference is vast. Unfortunately for Nvidia, they really screwed this one up. There's some laptops here. The never-ending catch-up game. Right, general hardware reviews. Some older games. Pretty much that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Ciao.